In this section, I'm going to be teaching you about the following guidelines for information security incident management and the procedures that should be considered. Here's a simple example of an incident management procedure. So let's start off by taking the happy path. First of all, an incident occurs. That's box number 1. That's the orange box on the left. It moves to the next box, number 2, which is the help desk logs the incident ticket. The question then gets asked, was the ticket resolved? Did they fix the incident? If the answer is yes, and again, we're going happy path now, we go up to box number 3, where the help desk updates the incident ticket, and then it progresses to box number 4, where the help desk sends out the status update of that incident to the person who reported it, and the incident is then closed. Now let's take a look at the not so happy path. First of all, in box number 1, the incident still occurs. And then in box number 2, the help desk logs the incident. But when we get to the question, is it resolved? We're going to say no, they were not able to resolve it on the first call. So it goes down to the next question, is a bridge call needed? If it's severe enough, then you need to open a bridge call and get enough people on there to be able to work the problem and resolve it. In this case, let's say that no, a bridge call is not needed. It flows up to the box number 5, which says, help desk escalates the incident. Now they're moving it off of their plate and onto someone else's plate who may have the skills to resolve it. So then we ask the question, is it resolved? Happy path would be yes, it's resolved. So it goes up to box number 3. They update the incident ticket, and then they actually send out the status report and close the ticket. If they are not able to resolve it, it flows down to the second diamond that says, is a bridge call needed? If not, then the help desk just escalates it again to that next level. So now it's maybe at tier 3 support, where it really is being given to highly technically savvy individuals to try to resolve. Otherwise, if it turns out that it is more severe and a bridge call is needed, it would flow over to box number 6. And it keeps going through that escalation process until eventually it gets resolved and the help desk updates the ticket with its final comments and then sends out the status update and closes the ticket. Now, what I just showed you on the previous slide was just a simple incident management procedure flow. However, specific procedures should be established to handle different types of information security incidents. For example, information system failures and loss of service should have special procedures surrounding it. Anytime malicious code is detected in the environment, there should be specific procedures for handling that. We should also consider things like denial of service, errors resulting from incomplete or inaccurate business data, breaches of confidentiality, and misuse of information systems. These are just some examples of the different types of incidents that would require different procedures in order to appropriately address the situation. Now, each of these unique procedures should cover the following. There should be the analysis and identification of the initial cause of the incident, not the root cause, but just the initial thing that caused the incident to occur. A corrective action plan may be needed to prevent reoccurrence of that incident. Reporting the incident and actions taken to the appropriate authorities when necessary, and containment of the incident. These are all different procedures that should be well spelled out when you talk about each of the different types of incidents that occur. During an incident, a communication plan should be in place outlining the following things. First of all, who should be contacted, what information should be contained in the communication, who the communication should come from, because it may be more appropriate for that communication to come out from the public relations group or from an executive, or it might be okay for it to come right from the help desk. But you need to establish who should be sending out the communication. What method of communication should be used? Should it be verbal? Should it be written? If it's written, should it be transmitted electronically? All these things should be thought through. And when should the communication take place? Do you want to do it during the actual incident while it's still being worked on? Or is this a communication that should wait until the incident is completely resolved? These are parts of a communication plan that should be taken into consideration. When a follow-up action against a person or an organization is necessary, All evidence should be collected and secured based on the rules of evidence. Some reasons to gather evidence includes to support post-incident problem management activities such as root cause analysis, or the identifying of a permanent solution so that you can put a permanent fix in place to stop the incidents from recurring. You may have a situation where you need to take action against an employee, whether it's a corrective action plan or maybe even terminating them, and you're going to need evidence in order to back up that decision. Now, you could be defending against a breach of contract. Something that happened in your environment may cause a breach of contract with one of your customers, and you need to be able to defend against that, so the evidence is needed. And the same thing is true with regulatory or legislative breaches. If something happens in your environment that puts your organization at breach, then you need the evidence in order to defend against any actions that may be taken against you or your organization. If you remember, I had mentioned that recovery was one of the stages of the incident management procedure. Therefore, recovery procedures should be created that clearly establish the following things. First of all, who's authorized to access the live systems and live data during a recovery procedure? What actions can those individuals take in the case of an emergency? Also, an authorization escalation hierarchy should be established to manage decisions that vary from the standard procedure. When you're in the middle of fighting a disaster and decisions need to be made, an escalation procedure will make sure that the right decisions are being made by the right people at the right time to come up with the right results. And then finally, the integrity and availability of organizational systems and data are established in a timely manner. Your procedure should guarantee that the recovery happens as quickly and as effectively as possible.